I'm here with one of my close friends, Arvel Bird. Now, Arvel, for those of you who don't know, is an accomplished violinist, award-winning, tons of music on the internet. So join me later in looking on the internet and some of his work. And right now, we just want to talk to Arvel and find out what's going on, what's new, Arvel.
Something new every day. You want me to start today or start a year ago?
Jump in anywhere you like.
Well, what's new is I'm living a whole new life than I was a year ago. And it's been a struggle many times. It's been difficult to transition from a long-time marriage that I had into and a center of universal light that I loved and adored being part of and leading, and all of that has changed in my life over the last year, radically changed. I say that I've been undergoing a complete restructuring of my life, my personality, my spiritual beliefs, my emotional healing.
Does that change the core person?
No, the core person is always the same. It's just me getting back to the core person where I had been.
You strayed, huh?
Well, I was born into a dysfunctional world like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Dysfunctional family, so that the beautiful, open, spiritual being that I was crushed. And my life has been a journey to refine or find that person, find the original Arvel, find that loving, beautiful, centered, compassionate person that I was when I came into this life.
Okay, that's not easy to ask. Yeah, you've mentioned some things that most of us have not mastered, and probably will never.
Life's too short, really seems like, to master the mountain of things against us, and finding our way back to the love that is who we truly are.
I could not cope with that part, so I set out to master the part that I was good at, master the part that I was comfortable with, master the part that helped my family and my friends, because there's too much of the other to overcome. So I do what I can do. I fight the battles that I could win, you know. You know, and so I have a sense of what you've gone through, because we all go through changes. That's a daily thing with people.
It could be, and it has been for me. But I don't think everybody wakes up in the morning and says, how can I change my life? Or how can I change myself so that I can become a better person and make life more wonderful for those around me? I think very few of us think that.
Okay.
But I think I'm inspired by the outside world. I'm inspired by my relationships. I'm inspired by what's going on in the world. I'm inspired by nature, and I grew up as a very timid, shy, backward little boy that lived in fear most of the time. My world was a world of danger, a world of walking on eggshells, not knowing, when the punishment was going to come. And
would that be similar to like a sightless person afraid to move for fear of whatever? It's you can't move. You're frozen by your fear.
Because you're going to bump into something. You could hurt yourself.
Cool. So I do understand exactly what you're saying. But I had that same fear. And I chose to say, now's the time when I whip out my faith.
Your faith.
My faith. And my faith said, Gary, project the image of what you want and move to it. And that was my faith. And it always gave me what I wanted.
That's a very mature point of view to be looking at from a young boy's point of view.
I didn't have a choice.
What was the alternative?
Suicide.
That's
That was
severe.
that was
Severe.
my only choice. Is we do this or we give it up. So I said, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get good at that. And I got good at that. That's why a couple of times when we're at the center of Universal Light, and you've asked me when I was speaking to the group, you said, give us one of your prayers. And I remember answering you in front of the whole crowd, saying, I don't pray, brother, because I believe in me. And me is better than a God, because it never failed me. Okay? So I know of which you speak. I feel your understanding. I feel your pain. I feel your growth, because we all, as males, we all do some of that. I was taught from my culture, my family, my uncles, my father, brothers. You provide for your family and you protect your family. So there's a maleness, there's a bond that we all have. You turn into the wind when you have to.
That's
stand your ground.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and that's all important too. But I believe the paradigm is shifting. It's changing now.
To what?
Well, this is going to sound radical to you, but I got this directly from the Mother Earth. My role as a male species on the planet is to serve the goddess.
Okay. And the goddess being the planet?
The goddess is the planet.
Okay.
The goddess is the mother of God. And it is only through the mother that we achieve enlightenment, that we can achieve, we can go beyond our soul to the higher self to become as the higher self is, which is the Christed being. This is my beliefs now.
Okay.
And the more that men come into the understanding of their role in this process, the quicker it will take place. As we stick in our old roles and our old paradigms and our old, this is the way it should be, and our old patriarchal system, that's falling away. That's a big one that's falling away now. And I'm just relating what I received on a very deep level from communion with Mother Earth.
Okay.
She's told me that she would do anything for us. We're her children. But as long as we're bent on self-destruction, she cannot help us.
Okay. I'm following you, and I have often wanted a dialogue with this planet. Okay. I agree. Its presence, its mass is in science, mass rules. Okay. It's the largest thing around us. It gave us us. It gave us the environment to live in. It gives us the food, the air we breathe, the water. It sustains us. It is our mother. I agree 100% with you that way. Through my logic, I came up with that too, similar to you. I've often asked it to please reprogram people. Through the food, through the air, through the water, just peace and love, and stop all this other stuff. So I think we are on a similar mission. Well, though we have different paths to get there, we use different words.
Hmm.
But I think it's similar. We're both after the same thing: a better life than there was. Okay.
Yes, living from a higher vibration to create a better life. That's part of the mission of the Newer Center that I'm part of, along with Kaylee and LaRoche.
All right, which we will talk to a little later.
Yes.
We're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Now, how's your music coming? Because we're in a time now where this COVID has shut down gatherings, and I know you're big there in that community. You have a presence. Okay, you have a following. I mentioned your things online, and I would urge people to go online and check out the music because it's awesome. So,
Well, that spiritual healing center was my family. And I never had what you would call a close family. They were strict and religious in their faith, but that did not create a loving family. That created a dictatorship with rules and followers. The children were the followers, the parents were the dictators.
I'm following you.
And I didn't grow up loving my parents. I grew up fearing them. When I left home, I had a semi-load full of anger.
Okay.
Because in my family, the only ones authorized to express anger were the parents.
Okay.
And I developed a belief that said, angry people always get their way. And that was a false belief and a false tool that I used a lot of my life to get my way, was being angry. But it was a double-edged sword because, yes, maybe I got my way, but it didn't last. It didn't make people endear me or want to help me or want to work with me. It basically pushed them away. So I was frustrated most of my life trying to create this music career that was my dream. You know, the American dream: work hard and your dreams will come true.
Right.
Well,
Right.
I busted every part of my body to working hard at that, and in the end, I didn't achieve my dream. And COVID was like putting the nail in the coffin, because all my gigs in the year 2020 were canceled, leaving me without an income besides my Social Security. And so it was a devastating blow to me and other people like me who are self-employed, self-contractors in the arts or music or theater business. It hit us hard, and there was no unemployment. And then they came up with pandemic unemployment. But I do my weekly, go online and do my weekly update.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing that since June 10th.
Okay.
And have received nothing from them, although I receive a weekly update on how much they owe me.
Okay.
And but it was not only that about the music business that hurt me so much, was that my identity was destroyed, and that has been a struggle all year, going through an identity crisis that really shook me to my core.
Now, see, I don't understand that when you say your identity suffered. I don't.
Well,
maybe it's my ego, but nothing can touch me, man. I don't get that. Tell me, what is that? What is that?
Well, my identity was tied up with being a pastor, a reverend of a congregational gathering every Sunday. I don't call it a church because It wasn't a church, it was a spiritual healing center. My vision had always been to have people come to receive the healing and community support for healing through sound, meditation, music, message,
Right.
and that. And so I wasn't there to create the community, I was just there to hold the space so that the people that came could form a community. And I was successful in that. They did form a community, and it culminated. Um,
Of which I agree, I'm part of that.
mhm.
I came.
Yeah, it culminated around the death of one of our endearing and most loved people, and I was so proud to see that group come together around this event. And but so my identity was tied up in that. It was tied up in the music, in the musical career I had, in the music I wrote and recorded. There's 18 albums, and it was in my identity was tied up with my gigs, my concerts, my fan base out there, and all of that came crashing down. And it was tied up with my marriage of 30 years, which came crashing down too. And so, in the midst of the destruction of the 2020, I was now looking at who was Arvel? Who am I?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I now? And that was and is still not completely defined yet. It's a work in progress. And I don't know when I will suddenly say, oh, okay, that's who I am.
Okay.
But it's always a deeper look. It's
Right.
always a deeper look. It's all these things that I said I was identifying with or I was being identified by is all stuff out there.
Yes.
What's inside is really who I am.
Right.
And that's where the discovery is leading me to. Who am I? Who am I on a deeper sense and a deeper level?
Right.
And that whole belief system has been changing for me.
Okay.
And I've been learning new skills, new tools to deal with upsets in my life that just seem overwhelming, emotionally overwhelming. And it's there. So I'm studying, I'm learning, I'm getting help.
Okay. And the tools that you talk about, that's where I'm interested. I plan on learning the tools that are available and passing them on to the greater groups, especially my culture, because any advantage helps, as you know, because this is a rough situation here. So we could use all the advantages that we got. And when I say culture, I am referring to my family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not a not anything other than that. Okay, because it's getting too odd out here. People want to segregate. They keep doing it. They keep throwing up barriers and boundaries. And,
Separation.
yeah, they're talking. If it isn't color, it's language. It's something, and so I'm about learning the tools and spreading them around so that we have a chance to go back to that singular concept, we the people. Okay, and I'm gonna push that in peace and love. So, okay, well, you gave us a whole bunch to think about, Arvel. Do you have any parting thoughts that you wanna?
I do. This is a very difficult time for each of us on the planet, worldwide. And there's a lot of fear going around. And what keeps me from wallowing in that fear is the belief, the mantra that I've been telling myself for years, that it's okay. everything always works out for me. And when the conspiracy theories began to float through my head, and I could get caught up in worrying about that, I've come to believe now that the planet's vibrational signal is rising, which is adding to the anxiety, the fear, and irritation of a lot of people, because we have to raise our vibration to stay in tune with the earth. It's all about Mother Earth. If we're going to survive, we've got to go with the earth. And that, which means we've got to raise our individual vibrations, which means we've got to work on ourselves. And we've got to heal our core wounds and learn to love each other by loving ourselves first.
Right.
So what's going to happen evolutionary for this collective is that those that are able to raise their vibrations and go with the earth are going to be the ones that enter the new earth, to live in the new earth. Those that can't raise their vibration or are unwilling to, or just want to live in the dark side, and expand the dark side, they're not going to be able to stay in the vibration because it's too much of a difference, it's too much of a conflict, and they will fall away.
Aren't we doing that right now? Aren't we in that scenario? We have hate, okay, and we have love, and there are many communities where spiritual people get together and they promote that, but
Yes,
the hate is still there. The hate and the darkness, it never goes away.
that's because hate and darkness,
It's part of the duality of life.
it's come from God too.
It's part of
As
duality.
as the light rises, so does the darkness. So we've got them both. It's just which one are we going to choose?
Right.
It's like the grandfather said, which wolf are you going to feed?
Right.
And because that is the wolf that's going to grow in power in your life. So I don't have to worry about the hate and all that rising. It's a natural occurrence. I'll have my concern, my focus is on myself, raising my own vibration, and knowing that they will fall away. And I will continue with the earth. That's the basis of my belief right now.
Good. That's kind of strong. And that's great. So, well, with that, I want to wish you well and thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
Thank you for your friendship.
Gary, when you said that at the beginning, I was pleased to hear you say that, because I feel the same way. I feel like you're one of my closest friends.
And the family that you talked about, that you built, is still there. Wow, I'm sitting right next to you, talking to you. It didn't go away.
Oh, I know that.
So we're alive and well.
Good.
You are a member of the family and will always be. I don't bring people in and out of my life casually. Okay, so you're there and you're always going to be there. So,
Thank you.
okay, well, all right, we're going to put this to bed. And again, this is Dow of Cottonwood, and have a nice day.